Hi, I'm Brian Dean with The Oklahoman and NewsOK.com, and I'm here today with Mike Kelley, who is the Secretary-Treasurer of the International Association of Firefighters, Local 157, which represents Oklahoma City's firefighters. And we were talking today about a contract dispute between the city and the firefighters. The firefighters are asking for about a 2% raise per year. The city says they just don't have the money for it. So, Mike, I guess I'll ask you, what is it you guys are wanting, and why is it so important you guys get this raise this year?
Well, it's really not a raise issue for us. We've been negotiating with the city since February. We've got some other issues that to us are more pressing. We recognize the economic times we're in. We were willing to roll over the contract, which means we were willing to accept last year's wages. However, we wanted to address some issues that our personnel are having, and we could never come to agreement on those issues. The way the process works is after you get to a certain point in negotiations, because firefighters and police officers don't have the option of striking, not that that's something we want, right, but legally we don't have that option, we have what's called binding arbitration. And so when you go to arbitration, you sit before an arbitrator and you've got to present them with what's termed a last best offer. And what we did was take what was in the contract, and our contract says that we'll get paid 100% of the market average, and there's a universe of 10 cities that's figured on, and we're in the middle of those 10 cities. And so this year, what that amounted to was a 2% raise.
So basically, you guys were asking for the raise because the city wouldn't deal with you on these other issues that you guys had.
Correct, and that's spelled out in the contract. We felt like that was the easiest thing for an arbitrator to understand, is that's straight out of the contract, and that's why we went that direction. Tell
me what these other issues are. I know you guys have some concerns with staffing. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
We do, and that's really our major issue at this point. The number of staff that we've got over the last 10 years has actually gone down. We're staying at basically what was mandated in the '89 sales tax election, which was 200 additional firefighters that the citizens passed. So that's where we're at essentially. So we're doing more work with less people. One of the disputes that we have is simply the fact that we've got individuals that will schedule a vacation. It's approved according to our SOPs in advance, and they may be told 3 months out, a day out, I'm sorry, but you're canceled, you'll have to come to work that day. And it makes it really difficult, puts a lot of stress on our people, because, you know, your wife, your kids, you've got to work around those schedules. You plan vacations oftentimes months in advance, and to be told, hey, I'm sorry, is difficult.
Again, the way this process works, being binding arbitration, an arbitrator decides when you have these disputes, and this is now an arbitration, and an arbitrator is scheduled to make a ruling on Tuesday if you guys can't come to any agreement yourselves. I mean, you all are still talking to the city, right?
Absolutely, and we've always done that. Anytime we go to arbitration, we continue to negotiate with the city. And a lot of times, if we think we're close, we'll forestall the arbitration award. We'll tell the arbitrator, "Hey, we're close. Hang on. Don't make your determination yet." And in recent history, we've come to terms. We're at a situation right now where, in this current arbitration, one of the things we asked the arbitrator to do was to throw out the city's last best offer, right. And the arbitrator did in fact do that. So essentially, our offer is the only one under consideration at this time.
Is it tough to sort of fight this battle, you know, for raises when you have a tough economy and other city employees won't be getting raises?
Right, and that was one of the issues that we had early on. We were willing to agree to, again, roll over, accept last year's wages. However, we wanted some Me Too language, which simply meant that if any other city employee got a raise, we wanted a raise. And the city was unwilling to give us a Me Too clause. We're just trying to protect our membership. We're willing to say, hey, if there's not any money, we understand that, but everybody should be in agreement that they're not going to take a raise. So we were willing to do that early on. Again, the only reason that we asked for our market raise is because it is spelled out in our contract. That's what we're entitled to. That's what our members get paid.
Okay, Mike, well, thanks so much for coming in today and talking to us about this issue. And to keep up with the firefighter negotiations, you can go to newsok.com.